Okay, so picture this if you can. A whole city. It's buzzing, right?
Mm.
Getting all spruced up for this massive event, a World's Fair.
Yeah, the eyes of the world are about to be on them.
Exactly. And then instead of like fireworks or something celebratory, something just utterly bizarre and frankly disgusting starts falling out of the sky.
And this isn't like science fiction or a weird movie plot. This actually happened.
Nope, totally real. Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the show that digs into your sources to pull out the wildest bits of history and knowledge.
And today we are looking at excerpts from an article about maybe one of the strangest city screw-ups ever.
Yeah.
Seattle's 1962 garbage bomb.
Garbage bomb. It sounds made up, doesn't it?
Huh.
Our mission today, really figure out how a pretty standard city project went so spectacularly wrong. And, well, gross.
Okay, let's set the scene. It's 1962. Seattle's getting ready for the Century 21 exposition. You know, the World's Fair.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Huge deal. And part of that meant cleaning up the downtown area, especially near what would become the Seattle Center. There were these old, kind of falling apart timber buildings. They had to go.
Right, and demolishing them wasn't straightforward. They were old, packed really close together. Tricky job.
So they did the smart thing, you know. They hired experts, controlled demolition, people who knew how to place charges just right.
The whole plan seems solid. Set the charges, clear the area, boom. Buildings come down safely. Contained.
Yep. So the big day arrives, area's evacuated, the countdown finishes, couple of muffled booms.
And the buildings collapse, just like they were supposed to. Dust goes up.
Perfect execution, right? You can imagine the crew thinking, nailed it. Dust starts to settle.
But that's when things took a turn. A very, very weird turn. As that dust cloud clears, something else starts happening. Something nobody planned for.
Yeah, this is where it gets just wild. Because it wasn't just dust and bits of wood settling. What began falling, raining down over downtown Seattle was, well, it was garbage.
Wait, garbage. Actual trash.
Actual trash. The source calls it a vast, unprecedented, and utterly baffling blizzard of garbage.
A blizzard. Wow. Okay, what kind of garbage are we talking about?
Yeah.
Not just the construction debris mix.
Oh, no. Much worse. We're talking like rotting food, moldy bread, banana peels, slimy old fruit hitting the pavement. And get this, decades of yellowed newspapers just fluttering down, huge dust bunnies floating around, old clothes, broken bits of toys, ancient candy wrappers, just trash everywhere.
Falling from the sky after a demolition that makes no sense.
None. You expect dust, maybe some rubble. You don't expect putrid, ancient household waste raining down.
So the immediate question is how, why, where did all that stuff come from?
And the answer is almost as unbelievable as the event itself. It turns out the demolition team, the city planners, nobody realized what was directly underneath those buildings.
What was underneath?
An old, unofficial, completely forgotten city dump.
No way. A dunk just sitting there.
Yeah. Apparently for years, maybe even decades before, people had just been chucking refuse into the basements and crawl spaces of these buildings. It was sort of an informal landfill.
And then they just forgot about it. Built over it.
Seems like it. Out of sight, out of mind, right? The city grew up around and eventually over these forgotten trash piles.
Okay, I think I see where this is going. The demolition.
Exactly. When those heavy buildings collapsed, all that weight hitting the ground acted like a giant plunger. A really disgusting, trash-filled plunger.
So it compressed the buried garbage layer.
Right. Compressed it hard. And then, when that force hit the solid earth beneath, the garbage had nowhere to go but up.
Oh my God. It literally launched the trash into the air.
A garbage explosion. Triggered by urban renewal. It's incredible.
So the cleanup crew shows up expecting wood, bricks.
And instead, they find the entire area covered in, and the source says this, a thick, putrid carpet of decades-old trash. Imagine that smell.
Unbelievable. So this wasn't like a bomb malfunction or bad engineering. Not really.
Not at all. It was purely, utterly a result of historical oversight. Forgetting what was literally buried just feet below the surface.
Building a shiny new future right on top of your forgotten, rotting past, and then accidentally detonating that past. Wow.
So what's the takeaway here for you listening? I mean, it's a bizarre story, right? But it really shows how easily the past can get buried. Literally.
Yeah, and how progress, like getting ready for a World's Fair, can sometimes uncover things we'd rather forget or didn't even know were there. It was hiding in plain sight, in a way.
It makes you think, doesn't it, about what might be hidden just beneath the surface of our own towns and cities, what forgotten histories are lurking down there.
And, what weird surprises they might still have in store for us. Probably not a garbage bomb, hopefully, but still. History has layers, sometimes smelly ones.